I know some of you may have become accustomed to not having, if your tutorial is the first class, you would have the class. I like to use it just for the introduction to break the ice so that when we get into our lecture, we get into the lecture and we don't waste too much time, right? So that's what we're going to do today. I doubt that we'll be here until 4 o'clock. But, right, so, all right, what I want to do today, just introduce ourselves. We'll go through the course outline, my expectations, and what you can expect from the class, and I want to know what your expectations are for the class. I know a lot of times we come to the class just because we have to. So I'm hoping that that might not be the case for everybody, but you come into the class because, not just because you have to, but you come in with expectations to learn, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. So, I'm Dr. Gittins, and if you're a finance major or have any part of finance in your major, you're lucky not to have met me yet.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But most banking and finance majors or accounting and finance, I would have taught them somewhere along the line. I don't think your group, those persons that I taught elements of banking and finance, for the most part, would have graduated already. But there are a few that I would have taught last semester. So I am coordinator for banking and finance accounting. Any programs that have finance, except for economics, Dr. D'Souza would be your coordinator. And so if you have any issues, you're at level 3, so you must have ironed out all the issues by now. If you have any issues, concerns, anything like that, you can check with me. I will have up my office hours once things settle down. I'll put in my office hours so that you know when to find, when you can come by, or you can always just, I didn't add my phone number, but I'll add my phone number. You can always just send me a message and we can arrange even outside of my normal office hours if it's urgent. All right?
You want to start a WhatsApp group, I guess?
Well, you can volunteer to start it. Okay. Yes, but what I think we should do is to do that when we in the lecture, so we get everybody together.
Okay.
All right. So I introduce myself. I'll tell you more about me later. After you introduce yourselves, and we have a little bit more of a conversation as to what we're going to be doing this semester and so on. So, who wants to start first?
I think everybody's familiar.
By now, right, you'd have had classes together, but I don't know everybody, that's the thing. I remember I have to learn the names. I still don't think I learned everybody's name in one of my courses last semester.
So what would you like to know?
So,
Other than names? What would you like to know other than names?
Just.
so your name. Hello. Hi. So your name and okay, me, your name, your major, and what you expect from the class. What are your career aspirations?
Okay, I can pass it on. I can pass it on.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Joan Jacobs. I am studying accounting and finance. I'm not necessarily certain that I have expectations of the class, or what I would like to do career-wise.
Okay. That's okay too. That's good to know because you can also come have a conversation with me. Right? Okay. know some names, what do they call you? Yes, I know your name, Shani. I learned it, don't worry, I learned it. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brianna Martin. I'm studying accounting and finance. After graduating from UE, I intend to test the waters as a teacher of accounting at the secondary level. And I did accounting and finance because I'm a little bit interested in the financial aspect of the business world as well. And yeah, I'm in my third year. It's a third year course. Pleasant to meet everyone here today.
All right. Everybody knows you.
Pretty much. Good afternoon. My name is Karian Thomas. My major is accounting and finance. When I graduate from UE, I plan to see what life have in store for me. I don't want to say anything before it happens.
Okay. And you expect to pass, yeah?
Of course.
Okay, my name is Darwin Moore. My major is accounting and finance as well. I'm hoping to get an A plus.
Okay.
Okay.
One more time. Your first name again?
Darwin.
Dog.
Yeah. I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah.
And you just here for school or you live in here?
I live here too. I've lived here for a long time, 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Zafian Kendish. My major is accounting and finance. Career-wise, I would like to work in either the accounting or the financial industry, or even working in the financial industry as an accountant or something of that sort.
Okay.
My name is Nicholas McKenzie. In accounting and finance. I either want to go into accounting or auditing.
Good afternoon, my name is Ishana Tito. I'm studying accounting and finance. And after I graduate, hopefully I get a job as an assistant accountant and start from there.
Assistant.
Hi, my name is Nikisha Daniel. I'm also studying accounting and finance. After I graduate, I'm not sure what I want to do as yet, but I'm ready for whatever life has to offer.
Good. All right. So, for those of you who don't know me, as I said, I'm Cleopatra Gittins, aka Dr. Gittins. Finance is my thing. I've been doing it for a very long time. I would say I wasn't always a teacher, but I would lie if I said that. I started out, when I came up from university, I taught at State College for just around 3 years in the business department. Back then it was called commercial. So you know how long ago that was? It's a long time ago. I'll tell you a fun fact. There are a couple of students here who I taught their parents. So, kind of telling you, I'm kind of old and that's what I'm doing. But anyways. So I taught at State College and then I went off to do my PhD because I figured, okay, I'm going to stay in education. And if you stay in education, you really should get a PhD in the field. Anyway, as life would have it, somewhere along the line, I got into working in finance before I finished my PhD. So I went ahead, completed it, continued teaching part-time, but I was working full-time in the area of finance and accounting for, let's see, about 10 then I decided that education is my first love, so I am back to teaching full time. Because I always did part time, but I came back full time teaching in 2021. Yuli having come here, so I've been enjoying myself teaching because I really do love teaching. And I think the unique part of it is because I worked in finance and accounting, and I think I'm better able to relate to the material, relate to you, the students. And I have 2 daughters. They probably around 1 or 2 of your ages, and so I feel like I know how to relate to young people, right? So hopefully this will be an enjoyable experience for all of us, right? You're at level 3. How many of you graduating this year? You don't know. You see? I'm speaking to a class of confident people, right? You don't know. How many courses you have left to take?
4 now, and I'm going to try to do in the summer.
Okay.
If I don't work out, then
Then you come back in September. Okay, alright. So everything for you. I want to see you cross the stage in October. Right. So you're at level 3. So by now you know how UV works. You know what university is all about. And so I won't have any problems with anybody dedicating the time and the effort to the studies, right? Right? And I've talked to you before, so I know this. And at level 3, trust me, some of you may not know what you want to do. You're doing accounting and finance, most part, right? Yeah, everybody's accounting and finance. And you may not know what you want to do. You may go out into the world of work and decide, this is not for me, I want to do something different. And that's okay. You may want to be a housewife, nothing wrong with that. Right? Just make sure that being the housewife and you're doing the work in the way and the work, right? Alright. But yeah, so it's gonna take effort, it takes dedication to get through your courses. You don't want to just get through, but you want to learn something, understand a few things. Believe me, some of what you learn in class, you may never see it again, right? However, once you've learned it and you're able to apply it, you know that you can just about do anything. You'll be able to learn anything on the job. All right? Your first degree is really just to open your mind, to teach you the critical thinking skills necessary to be trainable. Once you've completed this, then you're trainable. All right? And I have to tell you, yes, I'm going to teach you. You're going to learn things. You're going to learn theory. You're going to learn how to calculate different things. But on exams, for me, it's about application. So very seldom, except we're doing quizzes, will you get a question, define A, define B. This is about application. All right? So in this course, Managing Financial Institutions, just to let you know, this course is 20-hour course, all right? So it's gonna be a big lecture class with another group in the class, but your tutorials are separate, okay? Let's just, any questions before we continue? So let's just go through the course outline so that
You mentioned doing the calculations.
No, you shouldn't need a scientific calculation. So let's just go through the course outline and so you get a sense of where we're going and what to expect in the course. How many of you have have gone into Moodle? Alright, good. So you've gone into Moodle. What did I put in Moodle? I know I put the course outline. Did I put the first lecture?
You just put the title, the topic.
Okay, I just put, okay, so good. I didn't post the lectures because I wasn't going to lecture today, so I didn't post that. But I will post the first one before, when is class tomorrow? Talked about that, yes. So I will post that a little later, so you'll have it, you can go through it. Right, so this is a level 3 course, and it is expected that it will build on your skills and the knowledge that you have gained in prior courses. Some things are going to be new, all right? Because if you can remember what you did in elements of banking and finance, okay, fine, you'll be building. But if you took that in your first or second semester, you may not remember, all right? And so I'll spend a little time just going back over the things that we should already know, all right? We are going to be looking at the standards of banking practice and how they impact how financial institutions function. So, well, it's about managing financial institutions, which include not just banks, but insurance companies, investment banks, and so on. But you'll find that a lot of the focus is on banks, right? However, many financial institutions now do some of the things that banks did traditionally. We're gonna, in terms of delivery, lectures, tutorials, we will use case studies in your tutorial sessions. We go online and we go searching for this banking standards, we go searching for information on financial institutions so that you can learn what happens in real life, right? And so the topic areas, principles of financial management, financial institutions, the risk that these institutions are faced with. We're going to look at models, techniques, the concepts that they use to mitigate the risk. All right? You would have taught some of it in elements of banking and finance, but I know it's been a long time for most of you. All right? And so it tells you that the course should be of interest to those of you who want to work in the financial services industry, even those of you who want to be accountants, all right? Because accountants, they function mostly in financial services in our parts of the world, all right? Auditors, people who want to be auditors, they also need information, because you need to know, as an auditor, you need to know how it is done, you need to know the processes, the procedures, and so on. And so, as the financial landscape changes, much of what we do change. So, when I was growing up, you went to bank with a passbook, and they wrote in it, all right? And they had cards to tell what was on your account, the deposits, okay, so they had the ledger cards. Now you go into a bank, they don't have to go to a paper file to look for your signature. They don't have to go to the box of cards. What do?
It's the system.
They use the system. Everything there is in the system, including your signature. And even maybe a picture. So when you come in front of them, they say, okay, this ID matches this person. All right? Now you don't have to go in the bank to get your cash. Now you don't have to go in the bank to cash your check. All right? Now you probably don't need a check using a bank card. So a lot has changed, not just in banking, but in other areas of the financial services industry. And so we want to ensure that when you leave UE, that you have certain skills. And what you're learning in this course should help you to fulfill some of these attributes that UB has said its graduates should have. So critical and creative thinking, effective communication, resilient interpersonal skills, IT skill and information literate, innovative and entrepreneurial, global and well-rounded in the original industry. How many of you have your own business? Even if it's a very small thing, selling something. Okay, Shanti. Anybody else know? How many of you would like to have your own business? Ah, wonderful. All right? Good afternoon. And so, innovative and entrepreneurial, global and well-rounded in the regional identity, we need effective communication and good interpersonal skills. You need this anyway, no matter what you're doing. So in terms of the course, what are the objectives? So by the time we're finished, I would not have done a good job if you are not able to differentiate among the different types of financial institutions. You should be able to discuss the importance of financial institutions to the functioning of the financial system and the economy. You should be able to discuss the management of assets and liabilities of financial institutions. So how do financial institutions manage their assets? That is what they have, what they own, and their liabilities, what they owe. All right? Analyze the various risks faced by financial institutions. You should be able to critically assess the performance of financial institutions. So, if I gave you a set of financial statements for a financial institution, you should be able to analyze it. All right? So you have some skills from accounting, but by the end of this course, you should be able to analyze the performance of the financial institution and how it is they are managing their finances. Should be able to discuss the importance of regulation and the role that regulators play in guiding the behavior of financial institutions. Should be able to explain the ethical issues involved in the management of financial institutions. All right, so if you go to the course outline, you'll have, I trust that you'll do this overnight if you haven't done so already. And so we're going to be looking at managing financial institutions. Why are they so special? The different types of financial institutions. So you have depository institutions, finance companies, then you have securities, brokerage, investment banking, mutual funds, hedge funds, and insurance. So those are the main ones we will look at. What are the risks of these institutions? And we're going to look at the different types of risks. So we will have a class where we speak to all of the risks and then we're going to pull them out and look at each type of risk and how the financial institutions mitigate against those risks, right? So in the course outline, I have put in what we're going to cover on a week-by-week basis. If something requires, if we're doing a topic and I need to spend a little extra time on it, I will. All right? If I'm doing a topic and I recognize that you need some additional information, I may record a lecture and post it in Moodle so that you have it. But I may not have to do that. You may be good with it. What I do sometimes is, depending on how difficult the topic is, if I think that you're not getting it from me, I'll post a YouTube video. All right, there's several videos out there on YouTube that teach you little things that I may not be able to get across to you. I don't know everything. I don't have all the best methods, right? So I will supplement if needs be with those things. So these are the topic areas we are going to be covering. Obviously, week 12 is our revision week, so we are going to twin these two topics. These two topics will be done together. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. But. So these two topics will go together: loan sales, liability and liquidity management, and derivatives I can cover in a week, so we have enough time to look at capital adequacy and other regulatory issues. Capital adequacy and other regulatory issues will come out in, you'll get some of that in some of the topics that we're doing, right? So when we look at things like interest rate risk and credit risk, regulate the capital adequacy and other regulations will come in there. Most of you would have done FINA 2001, right?
FINA.
Financial institution regulation of institution. Did you do 2001?
No,
You have to do that?
No.
You have to, right? So you're gonna need to take that. That's next semester. You hope to do it in the summer. Hopefully they'll offer. How many of you need to do it? You need to let the office know early so that it can be offered in the summer, as you find yourself coming back in September.
It's a question about the summer courses. We definitely have to go and let them know what needs to be done.
You have to tell them.
Uh-huh.
You have to tell them. You have to tell the office what you haven't done.
Okay.
What I'm going to suggest to you, your accounting and finance majors, some point before mid-semester, come and have a conversation with me so we can go through your transcript to see what you have done, what you haven't done, and make sure that you are on target. All right? So, in terms of assessment, we're going to have a midterm, all right? The midterm is going to be about 20% of the overall grade, and we have a group assignment. I can already tell you your group assignment is going to be analyzing financial institution, right? And so, like I said, we'll do that. We'll do that in groups, and then you have a final. All right? When I got this course outline, this was in it, or I taught in the passing grade students must pass for the coursework and the final examination. I have not enforced it, but I haven't taken it out of the course outline. I got the course outline like that. I know this is true for the graduate, the master's students, but not for the graduate. Other important point, your text, Saunders and Corney, Finance Institution Management, or Risk Management Approach. You can purchase it online, electronic, I believe I got mine, but I go back on Amazon. The electronic copy, I believe there are some PDF copies floating around, maybe an earlier edition. But even the earlier edition, we can manage with it if you're not able to source the edition here. I believe my edition might be available, might be the 9th edition. These ones are recommended, they're for reading. What I generally would do is to provide any additional reading. I will post it in the room. If there's anything else that I want you specifically to read. So for example, the bank regulation standards, those are online, so you go online to look for those. Yeah, in terms of past papers, you know, to access past papers. Those those in the portal, and I'm not sure what's available from here. If they're available from office. Right? Any questions? Some persons joined us a little late. I'm Dr. Gittins for those ones who came in a little late. And this is my email address, this is my room number. If I tell you what my extension is, I will be telling you a lie. I think I have it here somewhere. Oh, it's 166. So if you call the main number, which is 484-3900, which you should know by now, you've been here long enough. But I can also tell you that it's better to call this one. I'll send you a WhatsApp. Alright? Because if I'm here, normally I'm in class. Except of course in office hours. Does anybody have any questions?
When you say managing financial institutions, I guess, like, what does it mean?
Okay, so financial institutions, first you look at their function. What do they do? Pick one. A bank, insurance company, something. Pick one.
So ECAB,
ECAB,
that's a
bank.
bank.
What do banks do?
Banks, they accept deposits from,
Deposits,
and they give out
and
loans.
they give loans. So that's their main function.
Function.
But they also do lots of other things as well. Alright? And those things that they do pose risk to them.
Okay.
To be able to mitigate those risks, there are certain things that they have to do. So we are going to learn what are those things that they do, the processes that they have in place, the tools that they use to do their work, all right, and the techniques they use to reduce their risk.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what we are going to be learning. And so, for example, a bank takes deposits, it gives out loans, right? When it takes deposits, if you put in money in a savings account, what's going to happen? The bank has to give you
Interest?
interest. If the bank gives out loans, you have to pay the bank interest, right? The bank has to manage that. The bank has to make sure that it's not paying out more than it's getting in. Interest, the rate of interest is dependent on, anybody knows what the rate of interest is dependent on? It depends on how the economy is doing.
Okay.
Alright? And so the government, through the central bank, will regulate its economy using a number of measures, one of the main ones being the interest rate. Right? And so that affects what banks do, even what other financial institutions do. Because all other financial institutions are affected by changes in interest rates, just simply because of what they do. So we are going to learn how financial institutions manage what's on their balance sheet. How they manage their assets, how they manage their liabilities. Alright? So you're going to see it from your accounting major, so you see it from the accounting side, you're going to see it from the actual functions of the financial institution. Alright?
Yes.
So there are a few people left. What's your name? Huh? Shema Smith.
Yes.
Okay. I know your name.
Really?
I'll figure out why I name.
You know my name from college.
Ah.
I didn't find it.
Okay, all right, okay, good. And I know the name. All right. And you came in after as well. What's your name? Shariah Joseph. Okay. I know the name because I see them. Once you're accounting and finance majors, I've seen the names before. But Shema, I was very familiar with. I thought that's what it was. All right, so if you don't have any questions, that's all from me for now. And I'll see you tomorrow. You're welcome. All right? Who's the judge?
Yes, no problem.